Hello YouTube, this is Tom737 bringing you another video, another airport update to the channel. So this first section of the video, this is going to be like a two-part transition video. Starts off pretty basic, not much going on really, but just some, one or two significant movements to include, which is I guess is worth adding into the video generally. So as you can see, starting off the main cargo apron, pretty quiet, not much going on. Certainly carrying on from the last update. Obviously we had the Silkway 748 inbound, DHL in as well. Since then, in between them, nothing's come and gone apart from this one movement you can see of this FedEx MD-11. So this is a once weekly service arriving from Indianapolis and then heading out to Frankfurt. So as you can see, the actual aircraft is on pushback at the minute. I'm just going to zoom in just to give you a better perspective of the model. So as you can see, the pushback tug is still there, just about to disconnect. Obviously engine's clear to start, everything like that. Again, like I said, I think there's about maybe like 2 hour turnaround, something like that, for this cargo schedule. Operating as FDX36, registration N594FE. I've been meaning to get another MD-11. This is the only FedEx MD-11 I have in my collection currently. I know Gemini Jets recently did one with antennas. As you can see, this one does not have them. Been in my collection quite a while now, so it would be nice just to have another registration just to alternate with the schedule itself. But because this is once weekly anyway, it doesn't really matter too much whether I operate this once a week, because this aircraft, could just so happen just to be allocated to this one specific route to this airport, I guess. So, I'll like I say, if I can get hold of one, probably feature that in if we get to this schedule again at any point. But in the meantime, I've just got this one. Panning across, I mean, like I say, not a busy apron by all means. Panning across a couple of movements. So I know it's been a while. We've had a few updates since I last included the BA146 that you can see in the background there. So this is on a football charter service, again coming from Stansted, and we'll be returning back to Stansted with the football team. Again, unmarked, no registration on the model itself. But I quite like these kind of aircraft, all white, because you can literally use it for any purpose. So it is quite a decent addition to the collection, just to utilise in any way you want, really. And like I say, it would have been on the it would have been on Tuesday afternoon where we featured it, or Tuesday evening. So it would be the day after where it's coming back to pick up. But obviously in terms of updates, it's probably been a few weeks. But in terms of the actual schedules we're basing it on, it's only been like 24 hours or maybe something like that. So that's operating as ENZ 158 inbound and 159 on the outbound. Again, all I know is it's a football charter. And then taxiing in, just about position on stand, we have this British Airways E190, registration GLCYO. This is operating as BA 8712 and operates as BA 8717 on the outbound. So as you can imagine, this is coming from London City Airport, inbound and outbound. This schedule, again, is kind of on its own, really. Certainly in this update, if it wasn't for the FedEx, it probably might not have featured. And I guess the BAE 146 has just been added in just for a little bit of a showcase purpose. But I mean, generally speaking, that's kind of it for this first part. Let's kind of zoom out a little bit. Just give you a better, wider perspective, I guess, of all the movements. Gives you a better, decent perspective. So now I'm going to transition into the next part, and like I say, in between this clip, this part, the next part, be getting all that set up, which should be around about now. So we've now transitioned to the second part of this video, a little bit more lively I'd say than the initial part that you've just seen, as we go through the general update. But again, collectively, you know, it comes together and makes for an overall worthwhile update in my opinion. So starting off again on the cargo apron, we'll work our way around. Starting off with this Lockheed Electra. This is GLOFD. So if you remember back a few updates ago, we started off in the morning. It was GLOFE that was doing this service, but we now have GLOFD operating on the return. And again, this will stay overnight until about 5:20 in the morning, which is scheduled departure. Doing a run back from Guernsey. Again, this is Atlantic Airlines, Lockheed Electra operating on behalf of West Atlantic for like I say, a domestic service. Just zoom in a little bit just so you can see the model a bit better. So this is part of the Aero Classics 3-pack set, for those of you who don't know, because of the DC6 as well and DC3. I mean, once we get these schedules done, I think once I've done a full week schedule, I might go back to what I maybe did before, but slightly different, of doing like a walkthrough of past years to try and incorporate a lot of models that you nowadays you wouldn't normally see in the modern day sector. There's a lot of models, you know, in my collection that I haven't showcased that I want to showcase, so I think as we go through that, and again you'll probably see the DC6 and DC3 pop up at some point. So panning across cargo apron, I've got this Dhl A300. So if you remember again, this operates in the morning, so comes in the morning, goes back out, and then comes back again. So heads out to Dublin, and then comes back from Dublin. Initially in the morning it comes from Brussels, but once this is turned around, this will head out to Leipzig, so it must do like a run between Leipzig and Brussels at some point during the night, and comes back in the morning. This is operating as BCS 2883, and we'll be heading out as 72J. This is again operating from Dublin and heading out to Leipzig, registration OLDLW. And then next up we have an Icelandair Cargo 757-200. This is operating on the regular service from Keflavik. We'll be heading out to Liège, registration TFFIG, call sign ICE, ICE 746. Again, regular service. Again, we do have the absolutely fresh version as well, but in my collection, but you know, it's not actually currently active in that livery. So again, that's another model that would benefit from going back in the past again. Just, you know, special liveries and stuff that I haven't really featured in any updates I've ever done, and generally a lot of models. I just think it's kind of quite interesting to do something like that. You know, maybe like I say, once we've gone through all the week schedules, so once we've got to Sunday and finish the Sunday schedules, that's probably when we'll start it, because I do want to get like a modern day period kind of fulfilled first, just to give you an idea of, you know, operations of this airport in general. So a nice little overview there, by the way, of the A300 and 757 together. Again, the Icelandair will be heading out soon, and the DHL A300 goes back out, and then we'll return, which will be Thursday morning, which will be the next update, by the way. We'll be starting in Thursday morning, next update. So if we just zoom in, so this is the Jet2 737-800 base aircraft that I only did one run to Paphos. If you remember, again before, it did a late departure of about 9:15. Again, it's gone out to Paphos. It's about 4 or 5 hours there, 4 or 5 hours back. And obviously, like I said, that makes up for the whole day. And then this is it now. Doesn't go back out. This is in for the night. This is around about 9:30 schedule. So this came at about, I think it was about 8 o'clock, something like that. Just past 8, I think. So yeah, it's going to be on the ground for quite a while until the next day when it goes out again. So this came in as LS406, registration GJZHG. And then on departure, we have this Sri Lankan Airlines A330-200 in the One World livery or colour scheme. Again, I think I've only featured Sri Lankan Airlines once so far already. Something about the livery that I love. The transition of the colours, the tail, it's just quite simple but effective. And it goes back to a magazine that I got some time ago, Airliner World, where there was a Sri Lankan A330 on the front page. This is operating as UL 504, heading out to Colombo, which is the capital of Sri Lanka. Registration 4R ALH. This is actually the only One World model I have. Again, I think I've recapped this before. You know, the main lights that I've always been interested in, or that I've kind of been familiar with getting interested in aviation, was Star Alliance. And you know, we don't really see that livery anymore in Star Alliance. Certainly see a lot more Sky Team on One World, certainly in the real world. But yeah, quite a nice addition to the collection, and credit to NG for releasing and expanding the Sri Lankan Airlines fleet. Again, there's a couple more models in this sort of fleet as well that aren't present in the modern day. An example would be the A340-300 that was produced by Phoenix. Not currently active, no longer active, should I say, in the fleet. And again, it'd be nice to feature something like that in sort of past updates when we get to that stage. But yeah, I say nonetheless a nice model to have in my collection. I'm still pondering about whether to include other international carriers, sort of Middle East, like PIA, Emirates, to this airport. It is possible to do. It's about looking at schedules and trying to fit it in, I guess. But I think for now I'm just going to stick with having Sri Lankan. Simply, really, just because I like the livery, really. But yeah, it's still a nice model to feature, a nice airline to feature as well. And I guess in the One World livery, again, something different. Let's give you a general overview there. So that's it for this update. So the next update will be, like I say, focusing on the Thursday morning, where we have, like, again, starting off with cargo schedules. Like I say, I will try and make it a little bit different. There will be an aircraft coming in that we haven't seen yet, so it will make it a bit more interesting rather than just on repeat, which will be, like I say, Friday. And Saturday, Sunday generally quite quiet anyway during the day. Don't matter morning, afternoon or evening. The schedules kind of ease off a little bit. But again, there's a little bit more diversity at the weekends as well. So there are some different movements to see. So yeah, we're getting near towards the end of the week now. I think I've just said, no, this is Wednesday schedules. We're now going to transition to Thursday. So we've still got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get through. Just got a bit mixed up, I think, there. But yeah, again, stay tuned for that. Probably, hopefully, I don't see no reason why it won't be done in a week's time, the next update. So just stay tuned for that. Again, likes, comments, always appreciated. And if you haven't already, if you want to, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future updates. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for the support. And I'll see you next time.